Hey guys, so I thought I'd give a quick tour of the oldest continuing Catholic church in Atlantic Canada. This is St. Mary's Cathedral Basilica in Halifax. It is. It was built. It was built on the site of an older church that was put up shortly after Catholicism was decriminalized in the British Empire. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you a brief tour. It's not the official tour, but I thought I'd show you a bit around the area. So, if you look around and see the pavement here, what's special about this parking lot? It's actually built on. It's actually been paved over an old Catholic cemetery. So under our feet somewhere here, there's like an old Russian ambassador who's buried. There's like I think there's like a famous priest who fought on Father Luther's War. But yeah, so anyway, so I am a traditional Catholic, as you guys know. So, and this building is not currently a traditional Catholic church. It's controlled by the modern Catholics, like most churches after the Second Vatican Council. So why do I go in there? Well, it is a major site of historic significance for Catholicism in my area. So it is a bit of a pilgrimage site. It also was consecrated prior to the time of the Second Vatican Council. So even though I think it's been desecrated as such, because like the old hire is taken away, false worship has gone on there, it's still a place that I consider sacred. And one of the things that's required as a traditional Catholic, for me to do to get an indulgence, a plenary indulgence, is I have to visit a church. So I'm gonna do that. So anyway, in spite of the changes, things they've taken out, it used to look much prettier, like with that old high altar, but which is no longer there, unfortunately. But it's still quite lovely inside, and they've done some restoration work from the Halifax explosion. So yeah, let's go inside. Let's see what it's like inside. Yeah, so we're already outside. You can see where they replaced the stained glass windows. They are taking care of this site, which is good. Merry Christmas. Yeah, and even there you can see like the new windows there. Let's go inside. So for those who don't know what this room is called, this is called the narthex. And actually just most churches have a similar structure. Even Protestant churches, the older ones, it's symbolic how you come to God. So this room represents the unbaptized believers, the catechumens. So they're kind of just in the door, but they're not really part of the church as such. And in fact, in really old basilicas in Italy, there'd be a staircase that leads up to a balcony, and people and catechumens would watch the mass there. Okay, here we go. And there used to be a baptismal font right here years ago, but we still have a water font here, holy water. It's not been blessed according to church life, so we're using it, but that's symbolic of how you're admitted into the church by baptism. And also, what if you've left the church or committed a great mortal sin? Like, if you commit a mortal sin in Catholicism, you're still part of the church. And if you apostatize, you left it. But if you want to be reconciled, be in Catholic a good standing, you usually have right here a confessional. And the next few days, I'm hoping to make a YouTube video on the sacrament of confession. This one's locked for security reasons, obviously. I've been inside confessionals like this. It's quite lovely. Definitely worth going inside. Yeah, and also we have all these like votive candles, symbolic of Christ's presence in our lives. And these are votive candles that symbolize people's prayers, including for the dead, which is probably the most common thing these candles are probably lit for. But they can be used. They can be lit for other intentions as well. And let me show you my favorite pictures in here. I'm glad it's still here. This guy. Remember the SSPX, Society of St. Pius X? That is who it's named after. That is Pope St. Pius X. He resisted the modernist movement about 100 years ago. Was quite a bit of success. Look up his encyclical Dominus Gregis Pascendi. It is, I'll put it in the video, it is still, can be found on the Vatican website and Papal Encyclicals Online. I'll try to put both links down below. And of course we got some memorial plaques. Sir John Sparrow Thompson, Canada's first Catholic Prime Minister who died at Windsor Castle. And we got a picture of him right here. So yeah, Canada's first Catholic Prime Minister is from Nova Scotia. Like me, he was a convert actually, so bit of a local Catholic pride there. So looking below up here, you will see, of course, the nave. This room would symbolize the church on earth, and this is where people would, in good standing, would sit. Now, if you're a Protestant, used to old school churches, this is one of the things that I first noticed is this. They're kneelers. People kneel down on. And as you notice, there's no holes to put the communion cups in. Because as a Catholic church, that's not how we give communion. People don't get a separate cup. In the traditional Roman rite, you only receive communion kneeling on the tongue and the horn of the bread. Modern Catholics do take from the chalice, but they drink from up there, not here. And people will kneel down for various parts of the Mass. In fact, in the traditional Latin Mass, there's a lot more kneeling. And sorry for the, I'll call it noise, but it's actually pretty music. Yeah, they're getting ready for Christmas right about now. I won't show you all of them, but I do want you to see some of those beautiful stained glass windows. That is Jesus being presented in the temple above, and in Catholic Church, Mary was also presented in the temple in Jerusalem when she was a young girl. So that's her presentation right there. Now right up along here we have one of the Stations of the Cross, which are pretty much every Catholic church. The original, I can remember in the Via Dolorosa of Jerusalem, where Jesus walked to his death, and there were stations. I'll make another video on that this week, hopefully, as well, or soon. It is pretty music. So I thought I would just show you what's different from a traditional Catholic standpoint. Now, traditional Catholics would love this architecture. Unfortunately, we're the ones who have to pray to go to Mass in like hotel rooms. And this is our taste, while the modern Catholics tend to hate this and think that it's expensive, costly. We love it. This thing is worth the investment as modern Catholics don't. So of course, we're the ones who pray in the hotel rooms, even though we hate praying in hotel rooms, and they're playing the beautiful Gothic churches, even though they hate Gothic churches for the most part, and think they're not that important or special. And ironic. Anyway, I'll show you what's different from a traditional Catholic standpoint. So, as you will see here, so there is a tabernacle. And so, as you know, traditional Catholics believe in that the bread and wine at Mass becomes Jesus' flesh and blood. Literally, it's not just symbolic. And after Mass is celebrated, that's where it will go. And a box afterwards, you have a little lamp there, candle to show that Christ is present. Literally in the Blessed Sacrament. That's not just symbolic. As Catholics believe, it's literally the case. And there's the altar. Now, in a traditional Catholic church, as you'll know, it's like a table. The priest faces the congregation. You can see from the side, there's a bunch of space for priests to stand there, face the people. In a traditional Catholic church, you see where that chair is there? Like right there? That's where the altar would be in a traditional Catholic church, and the tabernacle would not be off to the side. It would be right behind the altar, right in front of the altar, and the priest would face the tabernacle um, kind of the priest would face the tabernacle, so the priest would face away from the congregation in a traditional Catholic church, in a traditional Latin mass. Um, and there's a reason for that. It's not that the priest is mean to us or that it's trying to be cold or old-fashioned. It's actually symbolized that the mass when you go to church is about Jesus Christ. So in a traditional Catholic standpoint, you're wondering, why the fudge is Jesus? If we believe that's Jesus, why is Jesus over there? Why is the bishop's chair there? Shouldn't those things be reversed? And if the priest is talking to Jesus, why is he not facing Jesus? So that's kind of like how a traditional Catholic look at it now. I love this place. It's beautiful. It's lovely. But that would be like some of my objections to the liturgical theology. If you look back here, this was restored recently. I made a mistake. I thought this was about I thought that was excavated at Vatican II, but no. These things were used to be painted over because of an event known as the Halifax explosion. Basically, the city blew up during World War I because of a crash of ships, and there was a bunch of glass shards in these paintings, and they had to be painted over. That was the most reverent thing they could do, but they have since been able to restore and uncover them, and that is what they are. So we have Our Lady and 4 different angels and some beautiful I've seen down below, you see the artwork there. That's like Roman artwork. That's like stuff from Rome I've seen, paintings and artwork there. Show a few more stained glass windows, of course. You have there the 2 things from Catholic oral tradition. So 2 Thessalonians 2:15, we believe that we are to hear whatever has come down to us, whether by word of mouth or by epistle. Oral tradition is what counts as word of mouth, i.e. we don't believe in sola scriptura, and one of those things we believe from oral tradition is that Mary was doomed to heaven. So that shows the Virgin Mary coming out of her tomb and flowers there. And they went to look at her body. They found her body was gone. Roses were there. My own namesake, St. Thomas, was the one who was supposed to have discovered that, actually, because they came late to the funeral and they opened up the tomb for him. Over here we have we have the death of St. Joseph with Jesus and Mary now. St. Joseph's known as the patron saint of a happy death. Back up around here, I'll zoom if I can zoom in. That is St. Joseph right there. St. Joseph's patron saint of a happy death. Why? Because look who was right there with him. That's who you want to have at your side when you're dying. Jesus and his mom praying for you. Most ultimate prayer warrior and the word incarnate right there to keep the devil away. Yeah, it is a beautiful church. I still wish the Church of Latin Mass was here, not anymore, unfortunately. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get some footage of a Church of Latin Mass for you. Anyway. Anyway, thought I would show you what it's like inside the oldest continuing Catholic church in English Canada. Anyway, God bless. Go to Catholic Church and Viva SSPX.